downtown LA again for jury duty, hoping again that I'll get excused today. But in the meantime, we did get some exciting news from Niantic this morning. There is a Valentine's Day event. It's not the rumored Valentine's Day event with Umbreon and Espeon. It's something a little bit different. And by that, I mean different than what we expected, not different than what we've had before, because it is sort of just a recycling of things that they've done before. So the first thing is, and I think the most exciting, double candies for catching, transferring, hatching, and walking with your buddy. That's a big deal. That part means that I now only have to walk 60-ish kilometers with Togepi instead of 120 to get my Togetic. So I'm excited for that. In addition to that, lures are gonna last 6 hours. 6 hours during this event. That seems a little bit crazy to me, maybe a little desperate. Like they felt like they had to do something extreme to make this event okay in people's eyes. And then the last part is that pink Pokemon are going to be spawning at increased rates in the wild. The examples that they give in the press release are Clefable and Chansey. But in the main series games, in the Pokédex, each Pokemon is classified with a color. So, the first gen Pokemon that are classified as pink are Jigglypuff, Wigglytuff, Clefairy, Clefable, Slowpoke, Slowbro, also Execute, Chansey, Lickitung, Mr. Mime, and Porygon. Right off the bat, I want to say this doesn't mean that Mr. Mime is going to be spawning outside of Europe. That's not going to happen. And yes, Mew is also classified as pink, but I guarantee Mew will not make an appearance during this event. While the official post only mentions Clefable and Chansey, a reporter who got the official press release said that Porygon will be included in the pink spawns. Still haven't gotten around to the Gugon yet.
Please press the button for entrance.
From that, I think it's safe to assume that all of these pink Pokemon will probably be spawning at increased rates, and if it's anything like previous events, like the starter event and the Halloween event, we'll definitely see a lot of them. So good news for people who are still looking for Chansey, Porygon, or Lickitung. I know those are 3 very rare Pokemon. And also very good news because every one of those that you catch is going to be worth double candy, which is a huge deal with Blissey and Porygon 2 both coming with 2nd generation whenever that happens. Now, I guess by the time this video goes up, we'll know for sure what is spawning at increased rates, because the event is set to start in an hour. 11 a.m. Pacific time today, on the 8th. I'd tell you when the event ends, but I don't have service down here in the parking garage. And since I'm heading up to the courthouse, gotta leave the camera here. But I'll update you in just a second when I get out of here with my terrible, terrible phone mic quality. Seriously, that was so bad. I had no idea it sounded that bad. Get it together, Google. The 15th. It ends the 15th at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And as I'm walking through Grand Park right now, I should also mention that a nest migration is projected to happen today at 4 p.m. Pacific time. Again, that's always every other Thursday at midnight UTC. Alright. I got 9 minutes to get into the courthouse. I did it. I've been excused from jury duty. I say that like it's some kind of accomplishment, getting out of jury duty. The truth is, there's probably very few people who actually want to do jury duty, but in reality, it is one of the most important civic duties that you can do as a citizen of the United States. I really wanted to wait until I had my better camera to have this chat, but it's 11:30 now. The event is on, and I'm on my way to a Chansey 2 blocks that way, so we're gonna have to do this with the phone. So please excuse the audio quality. Jury duty, if you're not familiar, is something that every citizen of the US over 18 years old has to do at some point in their life. You're eligible once a year, and you'll get a jury summons in the mail asking you to come in to the court where you might be selected as a juror for a case, a trial. This guy's loud. We're going somewhere else. In a criminal case, that means it's your job to decide whether the defendant is guilty or not guilty. So it's a pretty important job, because you and the 11 other jurors that you're sitting with are essentially deciding the fate of the person who's being accused. We should probably make progress towards this Chansey in case it despawns. Here's a Hall of Justice. I just caught the Chansey, but let's continue talking about jury duty. As a juror, you're expected to be objective, meaning you leave all your own biases and prejudice outside the courtroom and make your decision in the case based only on the evidence and testimony that you hear inside the courtroom. That much makes sense. Now, what I didn't know before this is that anything that you learn, that you read outside of the courtroom on your own time, in your own life, that can't be used when you're determining the outcome of this case. Okay, to an extent, I knew that. To an extent, I understood. Because obviously you don't want people going online and just reading anything about ballistics evidence or forensic evidence and using that in their decision. So when I referenced studies that I had learned about in my undergrad program for psychology about eyewitness testimony and how unreliable it can be, and when I answered honestly, under oath, that I probably wouldn't be able to set that knowledge aside during the trial, I was excused. I understand the logic behind it, that, you know, there's so many studies done every day on any number of topics, and they may or may not be accurate in their findings. As a juror, you're expected to be a blank slate. You're supposed to come into the trial essentially knowing absolutely nothing and listening to only what you hear in the courtroom, which one, is impossible regardless of how objective people think they are. But two, in my case, knowing what I know or understanding what I think I know about eyewitness testimony, I wouldn't personally be able to put that aside and let someone's fate be decided based on something that I believe could be inaccurate. The truth is, I think it's a huge flaw in our justice system that we rely so much on eyewitness testimony, and I would encourage all of you to check out the links that I'm going to put in the description to read a little bit more about eyewitness testimony and how unreliable it actually can be. So, as much as I'd like to stay out here in LA and probably catch a ton of these Valentine's Day spawns, I actually have an Apple Store appointment in an hour and a half, and it's kind of far away. Yeah, I'm having some problems with the new computer, so. Plus, Cassie has some stuff to take care of in Irvine, and she was gonna take a Lyft, but now that I'm excused, I can drive her and save her some money. I mean, it's not a Valentine's Day spawn, but I did just get back here to the Disney concert hall, which is where I parked, and caught a Flareon, so cool. Now let's go home. Yo, is this where they shot that scene in Dark Knight Rises, Returns? Which one? The one with the Joker. Is this where they shot that? Totally looks like it. Great. Got hit with a traffic brake. See that? There's no one on this side of the freeway up there. It just completely stopped us here. Looks like it's moving though. Slowly. Let's do this. Cassie has been non-stop on Fire Emblem Heroes. She's way ahead of me. I have been playing. I am enjoying it. I'm not sure if I'm going to make any videos about it. But if you do want to see some Fire Emblem gameplay, check out Reversal's channel. Now, I'm like 30 minutes late for my Apple Store appointment, so we'll see if they still accept me. The Apple Store is on the other side of this giant mall, so I'm in the wrong place right now. Alright, this is the right side, across the street. And I have some eggs hatching. A lot of eggs. Yes. Tentacool. I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but there are also increased chances of hatching Igglybuff, Cleffa, and Smoochum during the event, because they are also pink. There's the Sandshrew. Ponyta. Is it downstairs? Oh, it's out there. Psyduck. Another Psyduck. More eggs. Hatching. Are you excited for this one?
Yes. What do you need for Gen 2?
Pichu.
Just Pichu?
That's it. Alright, I think that's it. Here we go. Right outside the door. Well, hello? Hey there. I had to leave my computer at the Apple Store because their quick diagnostic didn't find anything, which is, I mean, I pretty much expected that. It's a good thing I didn't get rid of the old one yet, because I'm gonna have to edit on it for a couple days, which is like, it's like trading your car in for a horse-drawn carriage. It's like eating McDonald's after you've had In-N-Out.
It's like drinking Irvine tap water when you've been drinking Downey's water.
That's right. What I'm trying to say is it's not gonna be fun. But after we eat this first meal of the day, we're gonna go check out a nearby park because nests are supposed to change in an hour from now. Maybe we can be there when that happens again and try to take advantage of this Valentine's Day event and catch some pink Pokemon. Pink Pokemon Apple Pen. All right, Jesus. Bill Barber. This is the park. You guys probably know it as well as I do by now. And check it out, right down this way, another Chansey. All right, I just picked up a 2K egg, and we are also hearing that Pokemon that hatch from eggs have been shuffled around again. A lot of Pokemon from 10Ks have been moved down to 5. A lot of Pokemon from 5Ks have been moved down to 2K. Here it is, Chansey number 2 of the day.
I am a huge fan of your work,
Oh,
man.
awesome, man.
Like,
Thank you. It's good to see a few people out for the event. Definitely more people walking around, obviously playing Pokemon Go at the park than I've seen in a long time. But with that said, this isn't exactly sustainable. This is something Niantic really needs to consider moving forward. As I've said before, with all the other increased spawn events, they're nice, but they just move people closer towards being done with the game. For a lot of people, Chansey, Lickitung, and Porygon are some of the last Pokemon they need to complete the Pokédex. And without any real clear goal in this game, for a lot of people, completing the Pokédex is the goal. And once that's done, there's still not much left to do. Now, with the changing of Pokemon in eggs, that's possibly an indication that they're making room to add more Pokemon to eggs very soon. Obviously that would mean Gen 2 Pokemon. It seems like the changes are moving a lot of Pokemon from 5K down to 2K to sort of clear up space at 5K so there aren't as many Pokemon hatching from 5K eggs. But I don't want to put too much faith in that idea because we've been very, very wrong about Gen 2 before. Now, using this event to bring people back to the game, to get people excited, and then dropping Gen 2 towards the end of it would be a huge and very smart move for Niantic. So Niantic, if you're listening, and if it's ready, this is probably your last chance. During the event, Niantic probably has more attention on the game than they have in the last couple months, at least since the last event. So right now is the perfect time. Will it happen? I guess we'll find out. Now, 2 minutes to the nest migration. I don't even know what the nest Pokemon is here. I gotta hop on the Sylph Road. This is convenient. It's a Zubat nest, and there's one right here. So I'm just gonna sit here for the next minute and watch this Zubat turn into something else. All right, it just turned 4 o'clock on my phone. Let's see it. Shelter. All right, Bill Barber Marine Park is now a shelter nest. I like that, actually. Oh yeah, this problem. When you watch a nest Pokemon change, you can't click on them. You can't interact with them until you restart your game. I'm just gonna go add my report right now. Here we go. Is that the first new nest report? It might be. Is anyone faster than me? Someone's got the quad spot lit up here. Probably not still here. Could have been here anytime within the last 6 hours. Real quick, before we head out and back to LA, I'm just gonna train up this gym a little bit, drop something in. Not really a good grouping here, but 1100 and I'll be fine. I can get through this entire gym easily. I gotta say, Wigglytuff was definitely the MVP of that training session. It just absolutely smashed the Snorlax with more than twice its CP. So, what should I leave here about my biggest pink Pokemon in honor of Valentine's Day event? Alright. See what I mean? Fire Emblem, all the time. Oh man, we're making a minimum 1 hour drive back to downtown LA for the 8th tonight. There we go. No traffic time lapse this time. Alright, we're out here. Downtown LA for We Own the 8th. If you're new to the channel, it's an Asian American arts collective that my cousin Dante co-founded along with Bosia and YouTube legend AJ Raphael, along with a few other people. And it meets once a month, the 8th of every month, and I always love coming out here to the Great Company because it's situated on 2 Pokestops, and during this event that's especially meaningful considering lures are going to last 6 hours. And as a bonus, on our way in, we have a wild Porygon. This is the second Porygon ever that I've seen in the wild. People are reporting with this event that they're only seeing increased spawns of the pink Pokemon in their natural biomes, meaning if you live in an area where Clefairy spawns regularly, you'll see a lot more Clefairy. If you live in a place where Chansey spawns occasionally, you'll see more Chanseys. But if you live in an area, or if you're playing in an area where Chansey never spawns, or where Porygon never spawns, or where Lickitung never spawns, you're not going to see them there. So, if you are looking for Porygon, try industrial areas, try downtown areas. This is only the second Porygon I've ever seen in the wild. Clearly we're in an industrial area here, and the other one was at the Long Beach Convention Center in downtown Long Beach. Now, we gotta go inside. We're late. What's new?
Just you being on this stage in front of this audience of artists, of young Asian American artists, to just see a person, right? An Asian man, real man, 3-dimensional person that is angry and emotional and funny and charismatic. Never seen in American cinema. Like, just that alone.
It's super foggy right now. At one point during the meeting, there were 3 Chanseys on this nearby list. I was hoping they would still be there until we left, but clearly that's not the case. So maybe as we're driving out of here, Cassie will have her phone open and she can watch and see if anything shows up. In the meantime though, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you're in LA, if you're an artist, if you're a performer, if you're an actor, writer, whatever, I really recommend coming to check out We Own the 8th next month on the 8th here at the Great Company. I'll put the link in the description if you want to check it out. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Just kidding, not quite over yet. We did find 1 Pokemon on the nearby on our way back to the freeway, but I have a 2K egg hatching right now, So I want to see, this is the one I picked up today, I want to see if it's one of the changed Pokemon. Bellsprout. Bellsprout is now hatching from 2K. We'll go over the full list of the Pokemon egg changes tomorrow, but for now, I gotta catch this computer chicken. Oh, I thought that was at least a great throw. Got it. Alright, that is the real end of this episode. Thanks for watching.